Hello Capricorn, welcome to your tarot reading. So we're checking in for the Oracle and Tarot reader careers. Okay, let's see what does God want to tell you when it comes to you and your career in the Oracle and Tarot reading business. Okay. Mm. Mystery cards. Alright. The underlying issue here is for you to go with the flow. So however things are going right now is exactly how they're supposed to be going. Okay. Your job is to find the way to maneuver yourself through the situation as effectively and painlessly as possible. So this is a moment of character building for you. That's the first thing, because how you choose to handle difficulties, it says a lot about who you are. And if you can train yourself to be calm in the middle of difficulties, then that's a good way to go through the rest of life, because life is full of challenges. So you might as well start practicing now. Okay, God is trying to get you to build on solid ground. So let's see, the first card that came out for you is keep your commitment. So this is telling me that you feel like you want to quit. God is like, no, it's not that serious. Okay, you can't expect to go through life and never have a challenge. How boring would that be? Okay. And if you feel overwhelmed, then that's where prayer comes in. So don't hesitate to call on your guides, your God, your ancestors, whoever or whatever you be calling on. Call on them. That's what they want you to do. So this is a time of faith building, character building. It's building your strengths. That's why we go through difficulties, is so that we can build ourselves. So these situations that we find ourselves in, they're not meant to break us. They're actually meant to make us. But because some people have a weak mind, we just allow ourselves to give up. And God is like, don't give up. You're missing the whole point. The whole point is so that you can see that you're stronger, you're more resilient, you're smarter, and you're more blessed than you think you are. Just call on me. I'll help you build on solid ground. I'll show you that in the future you don't need to fear difficulties. You don't need to let difficulties deter you. Let your spirit deter you. So in your spirit, you will know when you shouldn't be trying to invest. But don't let your mind tell you. And definitely don't let your outer circumstances tell you to give up. If you want to give up, then you give up. Don't give up because you feel like you're being defeated. Give up because you feel like, yeah, this isn't the path for me. Yeah, so God says just hold tight, man, and go with the flow. You're not on the wrong path, you're on the right path. Refine your attention, exactly. God says you're missing the picture. You got to make a plan to love yourself. So clearly this is something that you love doing. All you need to do right now is raise your vibration. Say, I am better than this. I am more blessed than this. And as a matter of fact, I love reading tarot. I love doing oracle readings. I love making the cards too because they're very informative. It helps me to connect with the earth. It helps me to connect with the universe so that I can have access to the Akashic records. So I can get information from the present, the past, the future, on whoever and whatever I want to know about once the Lord is willing to open the file cabinet and give me the information. Because you know, sometimes we are blocked. Sometimes God is like, no, you don't need to know that. Okay? So, yeah, just read the signs. But otherwise to that, we are very important people. Tarot readers, oracle readers, readers of any kind. We are very important people. We are like Uber librarians or Uber clerks. You know, you go into the office and you want documents from God knows how long ago. We are those people. Yeah. Because you just have to design a deck to whatever information you want. And once God grants you access, you can get that information just like that. Don't be afraid to make decks. Don't be afraid to climb out of the box. You are the master of your fate when it comes to your career. God speaks to you or your ancestors or whoever. They speak to you. They give you ideas. You just have to have faith that, you know what, I'm going to try this, see how it works out. And if you have a channel, before you bring the cards on the channel, try using them, you know, on yourself, by yourself, and see how it works. So you can build your confidence. You know, you're not on the wrong path. You're on the right path. So raise your vibration and express your joy. Now you understand more what's going on. Yeah, this is what I was telling you. Live your soul, not a role. So just because nobody else is doing it, don't mean that you shouldn't be doing it either. Meaning, with tarot reading, what I find with a lot of people is we tend to mimic each other. We tend to do what the other person is doing, and we're afraid to step out and blaze our own trail, use our own genius to improve our abilities and our business. You see, don't be afraid. You don't have to be like everybody. You don't have to listen to anybody else's opinion of you. What all that matters is your opinion of you and the God that you serve opinion of you. Okay? So for me personally, most of my decks I made them myself because I like when the deck is more direct. Because when you're reading for someone, you want them to see, yo, this is what it says. You know? So more times than not, they won't have cause to doubt you because the tarot cards themselves, they're a little bit of a puzzle, aren't they? Oracle cards could be a puzzle too because the same card could have different meanings. It just depends on the context. It depends on the situation that the person is dealing with. But that's where downloads come in. But that's why you are the one that's connected to the divine, so you could get those messages. So even if the card is saying, maybe it's saying go with the flow, and you're looking at it from a psychological perspective, maybe the person has a flood. Maybe the card is telling you follow where the water is coming from to find out where the problem is. You know what I'm saying? So go with the flow. It can mean many different things. It just depends on the context. Okay, it depends on the question, your research. Okay? So yeah, so if you feel like making some new decks that's more based on what you know about, because we can only teach people based on what we've experienced and what we've learned in life. So my decks are based on what I know. So I would come up with a topic. Let's say I'm working on work and I decide I want to make a deck based on work. I'll just dig into my mental files and write a whole list of things that have to do with work. And then I'll make my deck based on that. So that way, according to my understanding, my deck will make sense to me and I'll be able to explain myself to people. So don't hesitate to like make your own decks and blaze your own trail. Do what works for you. Test it out first, make sure that it is a good formula, and then, you know, don't just follow people and try to be like other readers. Everybody's just supposed to be doing their own thing. There are some parts where we will come in sync, but don't be afraid to blaze your own trail in your tarot reading career, okay? Because you have to do what works best for you and your customers or clients or your audience, okay? So that's what God wants you to know. Let's see what these cards are. Yeah, we got correct your mistakes and retreat. Or if you have already left, God says come back. It was a mistake for you to leave, because in the beginning it was saying you need to keep your commitment. So it's like you've already given up. But it's just because you haven't been seeing the situation for what it's supposed to, for what it actually is. Okay? Live your soul, not a role. And the thing is, when we're not living our soul, we're trying to do what everybody else is doing, and that gives us a spirit of competition. So then we end up measuring ourselves by other people's abilities and success. Don't do that to yourself. That's a very unhealthy thing to do, because you have learned what you have learned when you have learned it. So just because somebody else seems to be ahead of you in one area or the other, it doesn't make them better than you. It means that that's them on their life's path. The question is, where are you? Where are you supposed to be? What are you supposed to be doing? Okay? You could take a look at other people and their life paths on your break time. Other than that, you need to focus on you and what you're doing, how you're progressing. Don't measure yourself and your the speed of your progression by other people's, because you weren't raised like them. Your destiny is not their destiny. Their destiny is not your destiny. It's like you're in a classroom and you're doing an exam. Everybody's paper is on their desk in front of them, and everybody has their own seat and their own desk, their own pens, their own this, their own that. That's how it's supposed to be. Keep your head down. When you finish doing what you're supposed to do for this exam, then you can stand up and look at everybody else. And maybe you can give somebody a little bit of advice to help them push along. Or maybe somebody might come along and give you some advice to help push you to your next chapter or your next level. Okay? But don't be trying to be everybody else. Be yourself. You being a tarot reader is not a mistake, Capricorn. You're meant to be here. And you're meant to be unique. Just like everybody else. We're all meant to be unique, because God sets us up in a way to cater to a certain sector of the public. That's why there's so many tarot readers, so many healers. It's because different people connect to different people. So the people that are connected to you, which is your soul family, those people need you. So how are you going to leave your post? But then the doctor needed a doctor. Hence, I'm here telling you what the issue is. Because sometimes the doctor needs a doctor. So I'm looking forward to seeing somebody else doing some damn tarot reader career reading, so I could get a different perspective on my situation. Shit, sometimes I need a doctor too. You know? So, yeah. Let's understand who we are and what we're supposed to be doing here, so that we do not leave our post, because by us blessing other people, it actually ends up blessing us. I have learned so much by reading tarot for other people. I've learned so much about how God thinks. I've learned so much about the proper way to do things and shit like that. Like, for one thing, for example, yeah, I learned that if you're in a job that you find is shitty and you want to leave, before you fucking leave the job, how about you get another one? How about you secure another position before you leave the one? I'd be the dumb bitch to just leave and have nothing to fall back on. Yeah, that's me. But by reading tarot, doing readings for people's careers and stuff like that, God was like, yeah, secure something else first and then you can leave this one. I was like, that's a better idea. So by reading tarot for whoever that was, whatever sign that was, it taught me. And I learned so much more. But yeah, get back on your grind. It's where you're supposed to be. By building others, you also build yourself, Capricorn. It's not a mistake. All right. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye bye.